Welcome to The Brain Dump, where we study the psychology of success. Join us as we probe the habits, rituals, and routines of top-performing artists, entrepreneurs, authors, athletes, and more to uncover the timeless principles we can all use to take our lives to the next level. Are you ready to plunge the grunge that's been gunking up your mind's eye? Great, then let's get to it.
Guys, welcome back to The Brain Dump. This is Austin Linney. We've got Anthony in the house. How you doing, brother?
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
I'm good. I'm fantastic. Thanks for being here.
That's all we get for today. Guys, we're lucky enough to be have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Staci today. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing good. So
Wait. Real quickly. I just got to interrupt right away because you said we're interviing Staci.
Oh, yes, we're conversating.
We don't do that on Brain Dump. We conversate.
Yeah. Sorry, that's so I'm out of practice. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Now we've set the expectation. I didn't want our listeners to be like, wait a minute, an interview.
So I'm gonna lay a little bit here because me and Staci talk weekly, and her, the last 4 months for her especially has been, Anthony, you ever talk to people or help people or you have somebody in your life and you see like them shoot out of a cannon, you like see that like their whole life just switch like in an instance. And that's what's happened to her. I mean, not that she was already not headed on that path, but just the mindset and everything. It's just an honor to watch her grow and see the impact that it's had on her family. And Stace, we had you on Construct Your Life, but if you wanted to give a little backstory of who you are, and we'll get started and kind of we'll talk about the topic in a minute.
All right. Well, my name is Staci Hinnenkamp. I'm soon to be 30 years old. I've been married for 10 years. I have 3 boys, ages 5, 7, and 8. I've basically lived in southern Minnesota, my entire life, except for like an odd 7 years where Alaska and Hawaii. August.
Minnesotans unite, by the way. Huzzah.
I know. When I listened to the first episode, I literally texted Austin and was like, oh my gosh, he's from Minnesota. Like, I got so excited. But on October 1st, 2019, I got sober. I don't know how much you want me to say about that, but yeah, it was a big thing. Like, so I've been sober for almost a year and 9 months. I've quit smoking just over 4 months. I've quit smoking in the past 4 months. I've been on this really big health journey, started eating better. I've lost 45 pounds, not really lost any of my muscle mass, which I'm like super proud of, by the way. And I've just like completely changed my entire mindset. Like I was the type of person that would say like, I don't like people. And now I'm like, I love people. I want to talk to everyone and tell them everything about everything. But yeah, and now I'm just here to tell my story and how I changed my mindset in hopes that it helps another listener or anybody better their life, move forward.
Mm-hmm. I've talked about this on this podcast in the past, is like that I don't like people is such an interesting limiting belief that I've struggled with. And it sounds like in your life in very, recent times now, like having to really reconceptualize a lot of the mindset that you had established for many, many years. And then to kind of like twist and be like, nope, I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore. I live a healthy life. So I guess the first question would just be like, what was the impetus for those shifts? Like why at that point were those the moments where you're like, it's time to change?
I felt like I sat for so long. Like I got sober and I was just like, okay, well, I'm sober now. Now what do I do? And then I did a One Life recovery mastermind that Austin was a part of. And actually a good friend, his name is Andre, he said something along the lines of, well, I can wake up at 5 a.m. and get my stuff done, or I can fall back asleep and be like everybody else. And it was that moment, I don't know, something in my brain, it just clicked. And ever since then, I get up early, I exercise. I don't want to be like everybody else, because I know now that I'm not like everybody else, and I have value to give to others, to make them see that, for lack of a better term, that they are special, that like they can have the best life possible. They can, I forgot the saying, like, live your best, love the life you have while you create the life of your dreams. That's what I tell people. But so it was just something Andre said, and I just took off from there.
One of the things that I think really did the when we started the group, so it's my mentors group, One Life Fully Lived, we started a recovery group, and one of the things we wanted to talk about is when you get sober, a lot of people just get sober and they sit in their depressive state, like we just didn't want them to survive, we wanted them to thrive. And in the first call that we had, one of the things that Staci mentioned was, she said, this is the first time since I got sober that a group of people didn't judge me for being sober. Like, or didn't judge me for my past or anything. We weren't concerned with that. We were just concerned with, okay, how do we get better? And it's not something that's talked about a lot, is that there's so much shame associated with the behaviors of the past, right? And we have enough of our own shame. But when people put their shame on top of our shame, it makes this cycle of regret and negativity that's hard to get out of.
There's a lot there I resonate with. And I talk a lot about like this idea that we have greatness inside of us. Everybody believes that. And it sounded like, Staci, you came up against that, where it's like, you knew that there was more. You didn't want to be like everybody else. And I think the problem for a lot of people, whether they, have a past where they were drinking or living unhealthy lifestyles, or they're just, like their life has never been on like this roller coaster. It's never had these big ups and it's never had these big downs. I think most people find themselves in that situation where life is just kind of a plateau always. And that's equally devastating, because you just acclimate yourself to believe like, well, this is what life is. And this is what it's supposed to be, because this is what my parents did. And this is what my friends are doing. And this is what my siblings are doing. And the whole time, like, it sucks, because you're like, I could be more, but nobody else is living up to that. And so you think like, who am I to even tap into that, or to have these thoughts and these beliefs about myself if everybody around me, nobody thinks that. So I'd be foolish to believe that about myself. And so I think what you're doing is like, it is the most important work. When people ask me like, what's your favorite way of giving back? I always answer by working on myself, like by being the best version of me possible. Like that's the best way of giving back, is just opening that door for others to see like, hey, you have greatness. You can unlock it. Look, I'm doing it. It might not meet your expectations or standards of excellence, but I'm unlocking my greatness. And so you should try it too.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, like, I was very negative before, and sorry for when I'm not. I take that back, Austin. He yells at me when I say that. And that reminds me of my son's been saying sorry too, but we'll get to that. But anyways, if my family listens to this, which I know they will, I'm not, whatever, they can think what they want. I feel like I'm the first one in my family to do anything like this, to think outside of the box. And me and my mom have talked, and it's just, everything was just so cut and dry. Like, well, this is how her parents did it, so this is how she did it. And so that's what she taught me and my sister. It's just the over and over and over, like that cycle. That's what you grow up with. So that's what you know. And for someone like me to break outside of the box, there's pushback a little bit, at first because it's new to them. They don't like new. People are very uncomfortable with anything new. They want to be comfortable, so they stick with what they know. But we're not going to grow. We're not going to get better. We're not going to reach our goals or our dreams unless we get uncomfortable. And that's what I've been doing. And in me doing that, it's helped like my husband and my kids and like my mom and my dad. And it's just like this snowball effect, which I'm grateful for, because that's what I set out to do. On the first recovery mastermind call, I said, all I want to do is be happy. That's all I wanted to do. Well, then it was, I want to inspire people. Well, then I'm doing that. So it's just doing it on a bigger scale and making sure that everyone knows whether you're an addict in recovery or whatever, like you don't have to choose death, like a slow death over getting help. Like, don't be ashamed because people are going to miss you. That's what I was choosing. And I didn't get a second chance at life to sit here and keep quiet about it. No tears have fallen yet, so you cannot say I've cried.
This isn't crying. This is eye sweats. It's so interesting. We use the word comfort zone all the time, and I've been railing against this recently. Is like the idea of the comfort zone is silly. The terminology is all wrong because the comfort zone is not a comfortable place. It's a familiar place. And it's like choosing the devil that you know rather than the devil that you don't. And you think, well, this might be bad. It might not be as great as it could be, but it's what I know. And therefore I'm going to stay here. And that's the expectations that your family has or that you have of yourself. And you're like, I'm staying here. And when you say like, that's it's not a place of growth. It's not a place of opportunity and abundance. And what ends up happening is you end up settling into that familiar zone, and life just becomes blah. At best, it becomes blah. At worst, it just becomes a hellscape, right? And like a lot of people find themselves in that because they're like, well, there has to be something better than blah. So they start drinking, they start doing all these other things to try and fill that void because they're like, well, this isn't comfortable. There's nothing comfortable about the comfort zone. It's just familiar. And I've been harping on this is that you get to choose your discomfort. You get to choose the hard or the difficulty that you choose. And that can be like, just kind of collapsing in on yourself, or you can choose to try and rise above yourself. And both are equally difficult. But most people, they don't believe that they can rise above. So they choose just to collapse.
And I want to share this other point that she kind of alluded to there. There's something that I had to fix. And then I mentioned it to her. When you're shifting your identity and who you are, and I had an experience of my own, I would have a feeling or a thought or an opinion. And on the back of that opinion, I would say either sorry, or I would undercut myself with saying, well, that's just the way I think. Right. And I said to her, stop saying sorry for everything. Like, just stop. Like, it's the way you feel. You can't control how other people feel about it. And it's just, I'll let her talk on it, but it was a big thing for me. Is like somebody said to me, like very awkwardly, and it kind of like set me back in my seat. It's like every time you're speaking, you're undercutting yourself with the last thing you say. Just say what the fuck you're going to say and let it be what it's going to be. And that was kind of my aha moment for me last year that kind of broke me through this new version of myself. But I'll let you kind of talk on that too, Staci.
I always, after everything I would say, the word sorry would come out of my mouth because I was afraid of other people's opinions. I put too much value on what other people thought of me, and I wanted to please them while compromising my own integrity, basically. And now I'm 100% better than I used to be. I'm still working on it, as you can see. It still slips out every now and then, but I correct myself. It's easier for me to catch myself when I say stuff like that now and correct it. And I get that like ugly little parasite out of my brain because that's not who I am anymore. That's the old Staci. I'm not sorry for how my opinion for how I feel. I'm not going to sit here and belittle the person standing in front of me for what they believe in or for what they say. But also I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you my opinion. And if you don't like that, like so what? Like, I'm not saying it to hurt you. I'm not saying it to say that what you think is wrong. This is just me and who I am and what I think. And if people don't like that right now, I don't need them in my life. I don't have time for negative energy around me. And a lot of people now, they don't want to stick up for themselves because they think they're comfortable, and they're like, oh, well, I've had these friends for so long. I've had, they're my family, they're my blood. Who cares? Like, if they're cutting into who you truly want to be, you need to stick up for yourself, because you will never get anywhere unless you put your foot down and be like, no, this is me. This is what I think. And your beliefs and your energy are not going to become attached to me. I can't, I don't know.
It's like, I want to apply this in business too, because a lot of times when it comes to like building a business or a product or a service, you're out there trying to attract this audience. And this is the problem that a lot of people get into, is they try to be all things to everybody, and they water down their opinion because they're afraid they're going to alienate this group. And so they're trying to create this neutral message that appeals to everybody. And in the process, they appeal to nobody. And if you water down your opinion, if you censor it just so that you can fit into the tribe, or that the tribe won't alienate you, then is it really your tribe to begin with? Is it really your group? And the answer is no. Like, you want to find people that are ignited by the same things that you are, that share the opinion or the perspective, at least, not to say that they share all your opinions, but that they can accept it and say, oh, I see where that's coming from. And they uplift it. And that's the tribe that you want, is of raving fans, not just of lukewarm acceptance. And a lot of people find themselves in that. Their network is just people who are lukewarm accepting, and nobody ever stands out. Nobody pushes, because you get kicked out of the group then. And so I think it takes a lot of balls and a lot of, not balls. That's a pretty masculine. What would Angelo say? He would probably say, like, it takes a lot of ovaries, right, to like say, hey, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do me. It's one of the bravest things. It's so counterintuitive. It's one of the bravest things in the modern era, to just do you.
There's nothing braver, to be honest with you, because we've become a herd society. I just had a coaching client text me, and he said, hey man, weird thing happened to me. He goes, I have a friend. He's not like the greatest friend, but he's a friend. And I realized that while he was trying to give me advice, he was full of shit. And he was like, not only was he full of shit, he was kind of like winging it. And he goes, why can I see that? And I go, you can see it because you are clear in who you are. And now you can spot it, that other people aren't clear in who they are. And he was like, damn, that's a game changer for me. And this has happened to him like 3 different times. When I started the podcast, Construct Your Life, I was posting about it on Instagram, and I was losing as many people as I was gaining for like the first 8 months. And the first version of myself was like, well, this is really odd. Like, I'm not offending anybody. I'm not talking about politics. None of those things are happening. So why are people upset about what I'm posting? I read enough books about it, kind of realized, like, because I'm holding up a mirror to their own life. And when you hold up a mirror to their own life and people don't want to accept that they're not where they need to be, or they're uncomfortable with who they are, it throws them for a loop, and they got to change the channel. And so I don't have any attachment to that anymore. I just let it go because I can't control that.
One of my best friends. So about like 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, I really started posting more content. just around all the things that I find really interesting. You know, that brain dump is an extension of that, multifamily investing, business building, just mindset stuff in general. And one of my best friends unfollowed me on Instagram. And I was like, I'm not going to tell you how I figured it out. I figured it out. And I was like, that really hurt. Like really hurt to be like, oh, wait a minute. You're my best friend. What is it that I'm sharing that you find uncomfortable, that you don't want to hear, that you don't like, and when you put out content into the universe, when you start sharing your story, it's very vulnerable. And you're like, am I stupid for doing this? Is this just dumb? Is anybody going to care? And when the people closest to you are almost universally the ones that will go, nobody cares, shut up. And it's complete strangers that are like, no, you do it. You keep going. And it's the strangest thing. But that's when you start to realize, like, a lot of the relationships and the people that are closest to you, they've become that way out of like complacency or comfort in this watered down thing. And it's like, are those really the deep relationships that you want to have? It's not the ones that I want to have.
Dude, true story. And there's no need to call any names out. And I'm sure it's happened to Staci. I'm sure it's happened to Staci. I've had people DM me and say, hey, no offense, I can see how happy you are, but I much prefer heavy Austin, that version of yourself. And I'm like, dude, of course you do.
That tells me more about you as an individual.
What a piece of shit. Do I even know you? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and I would love to hear I know, because look, Staci just went for it. Like, she's like, I'm posting, I'm going to be myself. And she's had an interesting relationship. Talk to us about putting yourself out there, kind of, and things that you've learned about that kind of thing, and just kind of going for it.
Well, I've really posted, like, since getting sober, like I spent a night in the ICU because of my drinking. It was that bad. And I didn't post about it for a while because I was hesitant, like, well, do I want people to know this? Do I not? But then I'm like, for me, I needed to get it off my chest. I didn't want to feel like I was living a lie. And so I don't know, a week or two later, posted about it. And ever since then, I have been very, very open about my sobriety, about now I like to call it my life journey. I tell people all about my ups and my downs, and I don't, it is what it is. If people don't want to read it, I don't really care. I do it because I know it's going to help somebody, because I used to read posts from another girl who had been sober for 4 years while I was still drinking. Okay, not going to cry. And I wanted to be her. I wanted to be that sober girl who was inspiring people. And if her post helped me, why couldn't mine help somebody else? And over, the past almost 2 years, like, they've changed. It's not so much about, like, 6 months sober, this is how it's been. It's just daily challenges in my life. People have completely blocked me on social media because of it. They've deleted me as friends. Some people who I thought, like, I had good relationships with, and you don't notice it right away. And then you're like, the heck? Like, that's so weird. I thought we were good friends, and then nothing. So I'm like, all right, it's cool. Because if you're deleting me, I know it's just social media, but if you're not liking what I'm posting, like, I don't post offensive stuff ever. And if somebody doesn't like that, there's something wrong with them. What they see in me is like something wrong in them. It's not my problem. I'm not doing it for those type of people who want to put the blame on me, like I'm doing something wrong, because I know I'm not doing something wrong. I'm not gloating about my life. I'm not putting myself out there being like, oh my gosh, like, I'm such a winner. Like, I'm so awesome now. Like, that's not why I do it. Like, yes, I'm proud of my journey, but I also know how bad it feels to be in such a hellhole that you choose death over living. And I have 3 kids. So if I can help one person not feel like that, damn right I'm going to post all about my life. Delete away.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because it's like we've all had this experience. It's universal. And so I think part of sharing this is a podcast about success and the psychology of that and what that means. It's different for everybody. And if you're listening to this at home and you're in this place where I've talked about this countless times, like our deepest desire as a human, as an individual, is to be seen, to be heard, to be valued. It's like, it's ingrained in us as an animal. Like when we're not part of the tribe, we feel like we're on the verge of death because that's likely what's going to happen to us out in the wild. And so we want to be connected, but there's this weird paradox where we're so afraid to put ourselves out there because we won't be accepted. And so we hide. And at the same time, we're still part of the group, but now we're not showing up as our true authentic selves. And so, yeah, we're in the group, we're part of the tribe, but we're not really who we want to be. And so there's this push and this pull, this pressure. And so we still feel lost and disconnected, even though we're amongst people, our people. And it's like, why is that happening? And what we've experienced is once you start to step out of that and you start to say, you know what, being part of this tribe is no longer as important to me as being my true authentic self. And I'm going to start sharing that. And those people, it happens. It will happen to you if you're listening to this and you're at that place, that transition point in your life where like, I want to start putting my story out there. I want to start sharing. I want to start living in like alignment with my authentic self. You will lose people closest to you, the people that you thought were like your people. And it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. And in some ways it feels like an indictment of you, as like you're doing something wrong. And that's not the case. It's not, but you will experience it. And so prepare yourself mentally for it because it sucks when it happens, but just know that it's the only way to get to the other side. And the other side is this place of fulfillment and contentment because you're showing up every day as yourself and you're not hiding anymore.
Yeah. And the only reason why you're losing them is because they're extremely comfortable with you being exactly where you are, because it allows them to be exactly where they are. And I was riding around with an extremely successful man in business, and he's got some crazy skeletons in his past as well. And he said something to me that kind of stopped me in my tracks. He goes, I was sitting at home on a Thanksgiving. Me and my brother went back. We were hanging around some people after we made a little money, some people that we went to high school with. He said about 45 minutes in, I'm sitting at the table and I look at my brother and I go, what the fuck are we doing here? He goes, these people might be part of my past. They are not part of my future. And this is really, really hard when it's family members, when it's the spouse or the cousin, or it's old business partners, right? Which I've dealt with, right? Old people that know me back from the restaurant business. And sometimes in order for you to get what you need out of life, you have to be a little bit selfish. And that means working on yourself. And something I want to highlight, because I think it's super important, is one of the things that has surprised me the most with Staci's transformation is what it's done to her family. Her boys now ask her, Mom, when are we working out? What are we doing? Her son told me that he's going to be my coach when he grows up. And he was like, so basically I'm going to tell you to drop down and give you 20 every time I see you. That's what he told me, her little boy. He's like, Austin, I'm going to be your coach. And now her mom and dad are like eating better, and her husband's working out, and Staci's off of all of her medicine. And it's just, look, me and Staci are criers. It's who we are. We joke about it all the time. We only cry on Mondays, but that's turning into every day these days. But it's wild to me that somebody can make that kind of impact in their entire family. And I think that the reason I'm saying all this is to say that who is ever listening out there, the reason that we're doing this is that you can do this impact change as well in your community, in your household, in your family, by pouring into yourself. And one of the reasons we wanted to have this discussion was a book, but more of a topic that I gave to Staci and I gave to all the people in the group. And I think it actually helped her stop smoking, if I'm not mistaken. But it was the book, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. And Anthony hasn't read the book, and he won't. He's revolting against it. But I mentioned it in our interview on my podcast. And So it's something that he understands the topic with. So Stace, what was it about kind of the book that was talking about subconscious programming and stuff? What was it so much about that book that really shifted it for you?
So I guess like I just started telling myself like, and I thought like I said, I just was such a negative person before. And that's how people knew me. Like, they would literally tell me like, oh, Staci, we know you just hate people all the time. And I didn't want to be known as that anymore. And so I wrote down affirmations. I said them daily. Instead of like telling myself stuff like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. It's like you have to set a certain time and tell yourself, I am going to do this on Tuesday at 3:00 in the afternoon. Because if you just say I'll do it tomorrow, that's telling your subconscious mind that you're not going to do it. Your subconscious brain, it doesn't know the difference between no and I'll do it tomorrow. So you have to set boundaries with it, basically. And I just started to tell myself, like, I am a happy person. I am a good person. I do like people. I can run. I can walk for more than 10 minutes on the treadmill. I've told myself all those things, like, whatever. I don't know. I don't say negative things anymore. Like CrossFit, for example, when I started that, the first class for sure, the second class kind of, I noticed myself saying, oh, that looks really hard. I don't know if I can do that. After that, I was like, I can't keep telling myself that. If I tell myself that it's going to be hard, it is going to be hard for me to do. So I would tell myself, oh, I love running. It was very sarcastic, but I would tell myself, I love running. People are like, oh, how are you doing today, Staci? I might be having a hard day, but I'll tell you that I'm having a good day. If you would have asked me how life was last week, I would have told you that, oh, it's good, because life was good. I'm not going to be negative and dwell on the fact that my vehicle was completely broke down and we had to pay almost $1,000 to fix it. I can't change that situation, so I'm not going to dwell on that negative aspect of my life. Because to protect my own self, to protect myself so I don't fall into depression again, or so I don't get panic attacks or anxiety or anything like that, I have to be like this. This is how I have to talk to myself to protect myself. And I don't ignore what's going on. I don't push it away like it's never happened. I don't sweep it under the rug. I am positive about it, and I go and deal with it right away. I can't dwell on the negative anymore in my life, because that is what got me so bad into drinking. I can't do that anymore. I don't have time for that. I have goals to reach. I have new friends to make. I have people to inspire. I need to let everyone know that there is hope out there. So yeah, negativity. Nope. When I cry, I like to say it's all the negative parasites leaving my mind. So yep.
One of the most consistent things you'll notice when we start talking about positivity and negativity and like the psychology of success is, as you surround yourself with really successful people, they have almost zero negativity in them, almost zero. It's remarkable. But the people that really aren't moving forward in life, you can bet your buns that they are full of negativity, and that they have a hard time even finding the positive, even looking for it. And then when they do, it feels so foreign that it feels almost like sarcastic when it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing good. And one of the things that I do, and this is a little hack I want to share with you guys because it might help you. Because for the longest time, I'm very introverted, so I have a hard time meeting new people and getting into conversations. But I go on a lot of podcasts. And one of the things when you first step in with a new host is they'll often ask you, how are you doing? Like, how's the day going? They'll ask you that question. And most people will answer something along the lines of like, I'm good. It's good. Or some people even go so far as like, it's fantastic. It's amazing. One of the things that I want to encourage everybody to think about, whether you're going onto a podcast or you're just meeting somebody on the street, like getting coffee, when somebody asks you, how are you doing? I want you to stop and find something in the last couple of hours that actually is really good that you should, and then share that. So when somebody asks me like, how are you doing? Instead of saying, I'm doing good, I'll be like, you know what? In Minnesota, 8 months out of the year, we're covered in snow. And right now it's 98 degrees. It's hot as like the surface of the sun, but I can sit in my hammock every morning. I get to go for a walk. So I'm doing pretty good. And people go, oh, okay, that's a little bit more info than I was looking for. But, like being able to express specifically what you're grateful for and what's going good in your life, rather than just like big, vague statements of like, I'm good. Like, be specific, because there is something good in your day. What is it? Like, oh, I got to see my kids off to school this morning, or I got to like hang out with them for breakfast. Like, what is the good thing? Share that, because positivity is like a snowball. Once you get that going, you start finding other things in your day and in your life to be happy and grateful for.
I'm trying to stricken the comment, I'm busy, out of the universe. I can't stand that. I don't want anybody to say it anymore. It's fucking weak. But before we move on to something else, because I heard you say it before, sorry to put you back on the spot, Anthony. In the easiest way that you could explain to somebody what it is to reprogram, because a lot of people don't believe this shit. Like, I reprogram my brain, Staci reprogrammed her brain. So walk us through how you actually reprogram your brain to remove, maybe stop smoking or working out or just changing your mindset, because people say, no, it can't be done. I know it can't be done because I've done it and she's done it.
Yeah, I mean, this is not hoo-ha, high in the sky voodoo magic. This is rooted in neurobiology, like the way that your brain works when you have a thought. A thought is just neurons in your brain that get signaled in a specific pattern. And the first time that you have a thought, those neurons, they fire and they don't know how to find one another. So the pattern's not established yet. And so it's slow and it's cumbersome. And this is like when you're first learning how to do any type of task, whether that's learning how to write your name or how to type on a keyboard. Like, it's slow and it's cumbersome because your brain's never had to create that pattern before. And it's the same with a thought, whether that thought is, hey, I'm awesome, or it's, hey, I suck. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic, or I'm healthy. Like, whatever that thought is that you're telling yourself, every time you have it, you're just reinstilling that pattern. And so the first time you have a thought, the neurons in your brain, they don't know where each other are. And so it's a lot like the analogy I use is, if Staci moves into Minneapolis and she's like, hey, this is where I live, come visit me sometime. The very first time I drive over there, I might not know how to get there. And so it's going to be a slow, cumbersome process. It's going to take me a bit. But every time that I go over to visit Staci from now on, it's going to get a little bit quicker as I learn that pattern. I understand where in the universe she is, and I'm going to get more and more efficient until finally I find the absolute fastest way to get to Staci. And no matter where I am in the universe, you tell me, hey, go over to Staci's house. I'm like, okay, I know how to get there. And that's how it is with a thought. And your brain is just like that. The more times that you have the thought, the easier it becomes to have it. And your brain is this really energy consumptive organ. It's burning so many calories. Its only goal is to be more efficient. And so what it does is, as you have a thought so frequently, it says, this is high priority. And so what it does is it coats it in this fat substance called myelin sheath. And it's like fiber optics for the brain. Now that thought becomes even easier to have. And so if that thought is, again, I'm an alcoholic, the more times you say that to yourself, the more your brain goes, this is important. Let's really ingrain this. And it starts to physically change the chemistry of your brain. And so it's hard to change that. It takes time. If you've been telling yourself, I'm in this thing for many, many years, it's probably very deeply ingrained in there. But you can overwrite that. You can erase that and put in new thoughts. But it takes time. It takes intentionality. And this is where things like, I love running, or I'm a runner, or I'm healthy, I eat healthy. You tell yourself this enough times and it becomes true after a certain period.
I love that. That's so great. Yeah, I mean, it's so important because it does work, and that's what that book's talking about. But Stace, as you work on yourself and as you continue to impact others, one of the things that we do with you, and I want you to speak on it, is like, I'm like, hey, you should talk to this group and stand up in front of people and tell your story. And she'll text me back like 30 minutes later. She's like, well, I signed up for it. I'm speaking this day. And then like, I'll be like, hey, you should go run a 5K. And I'm like, stop being a little, whatever. And she's like, okay, well, I signed up for that. And like, I have this, like, it's like this switch flipped. And it's like, I really don't want to do this, but I'm just going to jump into it. Like, how have you trained yourself to just kind of like jump into the things like this podcast, all those things?
Because I feel like if me inspiring other people, one thing is that I can't tell anybody else that this works. Go do this, go exercise. You should run a 5K. It'll be good for you. Unless I do it first. If I don't do it first, who am I to tell someone else to go do something if I haven't done it myself? And I also just want to prove all those, I want to do it for myself, yes, but I want to prove all those other people out there that remember me as a drunk, thought, she won't ever be able to do anything like that. Yeah, watch me. And I'll be the best one at it too. And then your jaw will be on the floor because you can't believe that I actually did something like that, because you still think of me drinking half a bottle of vodka every night. Yeah, no. People do change. They can change. It's a lot of hard work. It's consistency. It's discipline. Like, it can be done. And I just have no patience for bullshit or laziness anymore at all. And you can ask my husband that. He's like, you're nuts. You are just always doing something. You always, like, it's 75 hard. I tell him, oh yeah, I'm going to go into phase 1. If he wouldn't have said, let's go out to eat on Friday, day 76, I would have started phase 1 that day. But I was like, all right, I'll take one day off. And
you know what I do to her? So we talked like day 37, 75 hard. And she was like complaining. And I was like, hey, why don't you just quit? And she was like, you're really lucky that my kids are next to me. She's like, because I'd really tell you what I want to tell you right now, and I'd have to put some money in that jar. And she went and destroyed the rest of 75 hard. Like, look, I'm really a nice guy and very humble. But if you don't think that...
Oh, I was muted there. I went.
People that are alcoholics and people that fucked up for so long, if you don't think that we want to prove some people wrong, you don't know us that well. And it's not out of spite. It's just that we didn't value ourselves for so long that we refuse to waste one more minute for the rest of our lives. And you know what's crazy, Anthony? And I don't know if I've ever told you this. Do you want to know my favorite people to hire in my businesses ever? Recovery people. There is no off switch. And they've already been down to the bottom of the thing. And so they just want to do good things, be around positive people, and crush life. And it's so amazing to be around people that don't have a myopic view on life. And they're just happy to be breathing, because some of us don't get out. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's crazy, man. It's wild because that universe of one, right? Us working on ourselves becomes many, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting.
You guys touched on it. I'm sorry, Austin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but I mean, Staci talked about it and you talked about it where, you change yourself and that changes the family, and a family changes the community, and the community changes the world. It's like this idea. Jordan Peterson talks about this. Before you go and change the world, clean your room, clean up your own life, take care of yourself. And this is, again, I've said this before, and it always feels silly. Like when people ask, like, what's your favorite way to give back? I'm like, I take care of myself. that's where I start. That's where it ends, because that's all I can do. And if I start there, then maybe my family is a little bit better. And then if my family is a little bit better, then my neighborhood's a little bit better. And if my neighborhood, then my state, my country, like it's the smallest place to start, and it's the most accessible. It's starting with you.
Mm-hmm. Stace, what would anybody that's listening out there, we love to give the audience homework. We're like mean teachers around here.
Get to work, people.
What would be your advice to anybody that's looking to change their life? Where do they start?
Well, first of all, you can read that book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself.
That was just for you, Anthony.
Yep.
Okay, what else?
Well, it was really funny because I was going to say subscribe to the Brain Dump.
Look, Anthony's an author. Anthony's an author, and if you don't think he's going to write what not to say when you talk to yourself, like that's the next book's coming out. He's like,
I would say, start with affirmations, because like daily affirmations you could, or if you feel like you don't have any time, which we all have time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Go on Spotify, go on iTunes and find pre-recorded ones. There's a whole bunch of them out there. Listen to those, like minimum 3 weeks, minimum, really, for a very long time, like months. But yeah, I just go write down, listen to 5 daily affirmations and go from there, because that helped me tremendously as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, do you mind if I don't know if I've shared this part with you. I don't think I've really told a lot of people about this time of my life. Worked in the restaurant business for a long time. And, when you're in the restaurant business for a long time, you view yourself as like, I could do it. If they made me boss, man, people would follow me, dude. I know exactly. That, yeah, right. So long story short, through a couple of events, I became GM of a restaurant. And what I didn't know is that the reputation for that restaurant had fired 14 managers in the span of 11 months. So, I mean, this was a manager killer. But, me, good old confident me, I got this. The people are going to follow me. I'm more of a, whatever. Well, that wasn't the case. I had 15 days in a row where people didn't show up. I was working like 3 positions in the restaurant. I was picking kids up in the morning with the cars because they couldn't get to work. I mean, I was drinking a bottle of vodka a day. I slept in the office. It was a full-on nightmare. I cried so much, broke my hand. I mean, it was a thing. So long story short, I got out and I had no confidence. I mean, none. I was ripped to shreds. No confidence, no nothing. I truly say that I got a text message one day from an old manager and said, listen, they're looking to hire at this position. It's nothing crazy, but it's a job with a great company. And I just said, fine. I just went to the interview, took the job. I didn't even care what the pay was. I really feel like I needed a port in the storm. Like I just needed a minute to like catch myself and like just kind of regroup, because I was not in a good place. And when I say that I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk and Jocko Willink and Les Brown at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., out running the fields, listening to Imagine Dragons at 4 a.m., like just screaming at the top of my lungs. And what I realized after getting distance from that is I was rebuilding my mind, like seriously rebuilding the mechanisms of who I was, and in my own way, doing my own affirmations. And kind of, that's when I first got on Instagram and like all this stuff. And like, it really is kind of a deconstruction to reconstruct your life. And sometimes you need that time away to just kind of rebuild yourself after taking a big blow. Super rough. But I mean, you're great at everything, so that never happens to you. But
you're talking to Staci?
No, I'm talking to you. I'm just messing. Stace, so if people want to find out, they want to follow your journey, they want to stay weird, where would they do that? How would they follow you?
Facebook. my name, Staci Hinnenkamp, or Instagram, same thing, Staci Hinnenkamp.
Wonderful. Anthony, what's the homework today?
Well, I think the homework was go and get your affirmations on. Go figure out how to make an affirmation. There's a lot of resources out there. It's not brain surgery. Start simple, and start doing them. Start doing them every morning. Put them on your phone so that you see them every time you open it on the back screen. Go do it a couple times a day. Start affirmating yourself, because if you can't be your number one cheerleader, who is?
Amen. I love it. Guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us here at The Brain Dump. Now, before you go, it's important to solidify what you've learned here today by taking action. If all you do is listen, then you're only going to retain a small amount of the information you consumed here today. So take a quick moment to really lock in any key insights, tidbits, or pieces of wisdom that you want to carry with you into the future. You can do this by heading over to iTunes and leaving a review with your top 3 takeaways from this episode. If you've already left a review, first, thank you so much. Second, it's time to start a brain dump journal. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a slip of paper will do, where you can record a couple quick thoughts from each episode. Science shows this is one of the best ways to ensure long-term retention of new information. And finally, if you've got a brother, a sister, a coworker, or a best friend that you think would benefit from this episode, do them and us a favor and share with them this episode. Your support, as always, means the world to us.